Are you self-made? Yes, sir. Oh, we have another propaganda thing here. Hang on a second. I got that damn Joel Walsh song in my head now. Life's been good. Food, water, transport, and rent cost money. Our national debt is growing daily. We need more money to repay those in power. Well, yeah, they cost money, but you also can just get them for free, too. People can give them to you, right? With extended UTXO, will you be able to build your stablecoin, algorithmic stablecoin? Yes. In fact, we're building a beta of it to show people. DJed. Coming soon. What projects on Cardano have pleasantly surprised you? Well, I'm surprised by the level of productivity and quality that I've seen from some of the thinking behind the DEXs. And I think there's a lot of great potential technological collaboration there, creating a unified view of how to emulate an account model and a unified view of how to assist them with scaling. They all have different ideas of that, but it'd be nice to actually create some consolidated standards there. I think there's a big misconception about what blockchains are for with applications. And this comes from either people not really understanding how software works or from bad marketing that came out of Ethereum back in the early days when they were pushing that whole world computer thing. And you see other protocols like, we're the world computer. Okay. Vitalik himself will be the first person to tell you that Ethereum was not meant to be some server in the sky with unlimited elastic resources. He'd say, hey, it's like a hand calculator. It doesn't have a lot of power. It doesn't have a lot of computational ability, memory. It doesn't have a lot of storage. And that's by design because it's a replicated system. It'll take 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years to figure out all the protocols necessary to create a truly decentralized, giant, parallelizable computer that has Ethereum-like properties, okay? That's not the point of these ledgers. The point of these ledgers are that you have programs and you want properties in those programs that run. You'd like censorship resistance. You'd like tamper resistance. You'd like inclusive accountability, meaning you can check the outputs and verify that they're being honest. You want global accessibility with these types of things. You want transparency with these types of things. You want equal consideration in the application of the rule set with these types of things, meaning that Alice is treated the same way as Bob is treated, okay? You don't want Alice to have to stand in line to go to the front door, but Bob gets to go around the back door and hang out with the band backstage. Everybody has to stand in the same line. When you want those properties, the point of the blockchain is to somehow take a collection of the business logic of your application and run those things in a way so that we get those guarantees. You don't have to trust the vendor. So here's a great example. A poker game. Okay. How do you know that the game is provably fair? Does it matter to you that the game is running on Bob's server versus running this great decentralized utopia? The crux of it is the players I'm playing aren't robots and that the deck of cards is a fair deck of cards and there's not collusion occurring so that a certain set of actors always get better cards than me. Okay? So you want provably random numbers. So you have a provably random shuffle. And you want human actors playing against you, not bots. Okay. You can include that logic with a blockchain. And then you can run the GUI on your client side, and the server can do all the other stuff and the player matching and all these other things. The point is the blockchain is acting as an audit layer, an enforcer. It's basically the validator in chief. It's the judge that's making sure that you have honest consideration. Also, what do you want to know? When you win, you get your winnings. There's nothing worse in the world than fighting a hard fight, you win, and then you have all this money that you're supposed to redeem. They say, oh, so sorry, we've decided not to pay you. So you'd like guarantee that upon victory and loss, the losers lose and the winners win, and the money flows accordingly. That's what the blockchain does for you. Connect it to an identity store. You can do proof of human things, random captchas and all these things. You can act as an audit and accountability layer and as a source of randomness. It can ensure that front running doesn't happen, all kinds of things. if it's designed properly. Now, does it then need to record every single event of your poker game, every hand, all these other things? Scale that to 10 million players every single day, 8 hours, 9 hours a day, terabytes of noise of the history of the game? No, doesn't need to record any of that. It's just there to ensure that the elements of those particular games are done fairly. So what does this mean? It means that that ledger is going to work with off-chain infrastructure that's running in people's servers or in some sort of other network, like a layer 2 network or something like that. And you trust the other people's servers and layer 2 networks because the validation predicates give you that. UTXO is perfect for this. It's not running stateful, event-driven programs that are in a loop waiting for input. It's basically executing units to transform state value from one to another. And each time it does that, you have determinism and predictability, and you don't need some notion of a global order or anything like that. So what's surprising me is that a lot of people are starting to realize that. I thought it'd be a lot harder of a fight to undo the profound damage that was done with that garbage marketing about World Computer that came out 8 years ago. And people are starting to realize that there's more to the picture, more to the story, and there's an enormous amount of creativity with that. Proof-carrying code, ZK rollups, layer 2 solutions like state channels, all these things where people are starting to figure out how do we create a hosting layer, but keep the hosting layer audited and accountable on the layer 1. What does that mean? That technology can scale to the billions of people. Is it censorship resistant? Of course. Because while you can censor a clique of the network, you can shut down, let's say, the American stake pools or something like that. You can't do it for every country in the world, and it's the smart cow effect. You just need one to escape. And the network is self-propagating, and it's a virtual resource. And privacy technology will scale up if that work comes. So I'm very surprised about that quality of thought and how people are approaching the problem, and it's something that's really been a great boon for everybody in industry.